Hello everybody, what do you reckon to my new setup? I've got a nativity going off to my left, I've got a glitter ball on my right, I have a little church, a lantern and some Christmas tree lights. Don't say I don't push bow ties. This reading is one for Susie that apparently she's been asking for a while and I must have missed it. Susie wants to know if UKIP and Reform are going to join forces at any point in time. So it'll probably be quite a quick reading because really it's just a yes or no answer. So I'm going to start with the Golden Art Nouveau Tarot by Matt Hughes, I think it is. Is it Matt Hughes? Oh no, it's Julia Massaglia. And we'll round it off with a Wisdom of the Oracle by Colette Baron Reid. Right then, let's go. Oh, move those to one side for a minute. So let's have a look. UKIP and Reform. Are they going to join forces? On the strength of it, as it stands right now, if it was my opinion, I would think not, because UKIP are to the right of Reform, and although ever so slightly, and Reform seems to be making some very different noises to the noises they were making prior to the election. Now, whether that's because they've realised that they've got to become more mainstream in order to secure enough votes to take over the Conservative Party, that one's the wrong way around, I don't know. I don't know what's going off with Reform at the moment, and I know that, I can't remember the name of the leader, is it Nick Tencone? Or I think it's Nick Tencone, the leader of UKIP. He's still very much for the people in a lot of respects, because he's a bit of a champion for people like Tommy Robinson and the political prisoners that we have in prison at the moment after the riots back in July. Particularly the one, well, not necessarily the ones that were smashing up buses and burning things, but the ones who are in for social media posts. He's still very much the people's advocate, but it's my belief, and I might be wrong, that UKIP is very small in comparison to Reform, and Reform have a lot of members now. So let's have a look. First out the gate, we've got death. So there's an ending somewhere. There's an ending somewhere. So we've got death. A new beginning, maybe, because death always signals an end and a new beginning. But this is almost like death. This picture, this image reminds me of somebody being overtaken. So maybe UKIP will overtake UKIP. Reform will overtake, maybe possibly overtake UKIP. But well, let's have a look. So we've got death. So what's the reasoning behind this death then, please? Why have we got the death card for a merger between Reform and UKIP? We have strength. So we've got death and strength. Put that one there. Strength. Death and strength. So this feels like there's going to be a battle, a battle between them. It's like a willy waving This feels like a willy waving contest. Now, who's got the biggest one, sort of thing. So. And then we've got two out. We've got truth, which is going to go there. And then we've got the Eight of Swords. So we've got, let's just get all 3 lines out first. I'm just doing a 9 card spread, so right. Right, so let's have a good look at this. So this top line, we've got the 8 of Swords, we've got Strength, and we've got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. So we've got this depiction of feeling quite trapped, in a way restrained, and I think this is about UKIP, not UKIP, about reform, where now they're actually in Parliament, they've realised just how restrained they've got to be in order to retain their credibility, if you like. They've got to sort of maintain poise, but they've also at the same time got to give us a show of strength in Parliament in order to be credible. And this isn't about wealth. This isn't about the money in the party. And then we've got in the middle, the central theme here is death, endings. And then we've got the King of Wands, death, and the 5 of Swords. So look at it like a story going from left to right. We've got this king who's very inspirational, very creative, very intuitive, has somehow turned into the Grim Reaper who's taking no hostages. And he's going to walk away as the victor, but that's not good. That's going to come with a lot of challenge, because 5, although this person is walking off the battlefield with a lot of swords, he's still leaving 2 behind, which means to me this is a story of UKIP, I think. So we've got the person in charge, which would be Nigel Farage. He's very creative. He's found ways of getting the party up and running without it being a democratised party. But then he's had to change very quickly, and he's changed into something that the people have started to not recognise. He's sort of ending that image and beginning a new one. And he's going to walk away from the battle relatively unscathed for the time being. And then the bottom row, we've got the 4 of Wands, the Ace of Swords, and the 3 of Pentacles. So from being quite restrained to becoming the king, we've got this happily ever after card, this 1111 card. So I'm reading them from left to right and up and down and in diagonals here. So you might not be able to work out what I'm doing. So we've gone from being restrained with the 8 of Swords, turning into the King of Wands, so they're in charge of the party, to actually in a quite celebratory mood. Reform are doing really, really well. They've got lots and lots of new members. They've got huge support. That support is going to turn, something's going to come out. There's going to be some information coming out, some new information come out, and he is going to collaborate more with others. This is a collaboration card. Whether that's UKIP or not, I don't know. But I think this sword can also be a cautionary tale here, because quite a few people are quite disappointed with how Reform are performing, as in what they are now saying, which is totally different to what they said before the election. And they're going to have no choice but to collaborate. Maybe this is collaborating with UKIP. Maybe it's collaborating more with the Tory party. They seem to be aligning more with the Tory party than other sort of independent parties that are listening to the people, that do completely know why the UK public are no longer trust government in any way. And then so that's that row across. That's from top to bottom. We're restrained. We've become the leader, happily ever after. They're going to have to regain strength or retain strength in order to, because they're going to have the strength to change their tack. So from top to bottom, we've got, because they've now come into Parliament, and because they are now quite prominent in Parliament, and the media is talking about them all the time, they're going to have to become quite strong, because the party is changing, and therefore they are changing, and they are changing their tack. And what they are saying is changing. It's very different, very different. And then from here we've got the Queen of Pentacles. This isn't about money, because 100,000 members isn't going to, make them float forever. They are going to have a battle, and this could be with other parties. It could also be with the people, and which will prompt them to collaborate with others. Now, whether that means mainstream other independent parties, or whether that means that they're going to have to go back to the drawing board, because this battle isn't over. This battle isn't over. They've changed the tack and they've ended up on the battlefield because of it. I think Reform is heading for one or two intellectual battles here over what they said before and what they're saying now, and also over their lack of response or support for people like Tommy Robinson and some of the political prisoners that are currently in prison for hurty words or silly memes on Facebook. Whether that means that UKIP and Reform are going to collaborate, I don't know, but Reform are definitely going to collaborate with somebody. My feeling is it won't be UKIP. So let's have a look. I want a yes or no. I'm not taking all those. Is UKIP and Reform a yes or no answer? Is UKIP and Reform, are UKIP and Reform going to join forces before the next election? Right, that's two and they've flown. So I'm putting those back. Where's the other one? Right, we've got a Knight of Cups and we've got a Five of Pentacles. So there's a peace offering here. Whoever is offering a peace offering, whether it's Reform offering a peace offering to UKIP or the other way around, an offer to collaborate, is going to be turned down. So I'd say no, they are not going to join forces at all. So let's have a little sneaky peek at a Wisdom of the Oracle, please. Wisdom of the Oracle. I hope you like my little Christmas scenes. I've been looking at my analytics. That's a posh word, isn't it? I've been having a look at my YouTube analytics, and it's very, very interesting because quite a few thousand people actually watch my videos but don't subscribe. It's I don't know whether people are flicking on or flicking off, and 60% of people who watch my videos have flicked off after about 9 minutes. So maybe I'm a bit boring. So if you've got some suggestions on how not to be quite so boring, please put them in the comments below. I read them all, I reply to them all. I know if you say something that might be construed as being a bit off. No, I won't be blocking you or removing your comments. Don't agree with that. Right, let's have a look at a wisdom of the oracle. Oh, that was straight away. We have to be fair. To be fair. Number 38. To be fair, 38. Now is the a time for even exchanges. Justice will prevail. Even exchanges, even if they talk to each other, you know, they'll come out with the right answers and the right sort of arrangements for them. In all your affairs, you will be able to negotiate fair settlements. Mutual gain is the gift to you and your partners and colleagues. This is also a good time to square your finances and take stock on how you're compensated for your work. This card signifies balance, justice and negotiations. So remember that all things must be fairly recompensed. Keep this as your truth, and so it will be. Now, that makes a lot of sense, because I said there are going to be some collaborations. So there's got to be some talking and negotiation going on here. There's got to be some new negotiations. But I'm not sure whether that came out in reverse. And because I'm not sure, I'm going to read the message for the reverse as well. So if you think that it went out in the reverse, take that one. If you think it came out in the upright, take what I've just read. So the reverse message for this is: injustice and inequity are part of life, but they do not have to define your experience. This is a time when you may observe an injustice righted and fairly redressed. Perhaps you come to the rescue of someone else or are called to answer for a personal slight. You will be amazed by the sense of power that surges through you when you stand up for yourself and others. This card also indicates a good time to advocate for others who are less fortunate. Choose your cause and commit to it, because you can make a difference. One thing is for certain: if fairness is your intention, the situation will be resolved for the highest good or of all concerned through acts of kindness, empathy and courage. So possibly it could be the reverse. I don't know, because the courage, the strength is in here. So just to recap, Reform have had to change their image. They've had to change some of their rhetoric on some of the points that they fought the election on. They've had to sort of change themselves quite dramatically in some ways. They've become quite disappointed. There will be a battle. I think maybe they might even lose a few members in the coming weeks and months, but they will still be quite prominent as a party. But I think the messaging's changed, and I think that's what the death is. They've changed the messaging. It's disappointed people. There will be some battles about that. They'll come off okay, not necessarily unscathed, but they'll come off okay. But they are going to have to watch the backs in future. So that's your reading, Susie. I hope you enjoy it. Take care. Ta-ra.